subjects, we were seldom 15. Usually 10 lang estudyantes. A very intimate relationship between professor and students. And it was a very, very, I'm proud to say that despite the challenges in peace and order situation, we really learned a lot. No? Ang mga bala, ginakaon na namin. Ang ibang panahon niya, subjects kay ma'am, was parasitology. Ang MSU may dairy farm. So mag-require siya na maghimo kami sa slides ng parasites. So what we did was, we went to the dairy farm, tapos ang mga cows, bago lang sila mag-poo, so ginakay-kay na muna. So actually during that time, we were what we call, we were deep in shit. Para lang makapasa sa parasitology. Tapos, ang amon ng mga classmates, i-remember din nila medyo may mga naughty ng mga terms. Like, ang parasite na hindi malipatan sa amon ng mga classmates nila lalaki was Furious pubis. Furious pubis is a kuto sa pubic hair. Ang amon niya field trips, as shown by Ma'am Jurgenne, wherein the shorelines of Kausuagan, Lanao del Norte, and Naawan. That was, that time, very peaceful pa. So we didn't worry about safety and all that. And during that time, wala pa sa mga environmental concerns. Ang mga corals, ginapangbuto lang naman kapag abot sa labi na tinluan, ginahimo naman yung mga paperweights and mga dekorasyon, no? Subong hindi na nato na dapat himuon. Anyway, I'm very thankful that after I finished my biology course, I worked in MSU and then joined CIFDEC and continued my relationship with Ma'am Jurgenne. We were not really colleagues under one section, but we worked on collaborative projects, and I'm proud that there was one survey work on the use of chemicals in aquaculture in the Philippines, which won an Elvira Otan Award. And that is now the backbone of what I am doing with other people on antimicrobial resistance in aquaculture. That paper is always cited in our work because that is the basis for antimicrobial usage in aquaculture. I think that's one of the first surveys in aquaculture that we did, and that's a very good piece of work that I'm really proud to have worked with Ma'am Jurgenne. 45 years of being together, we have lots of stories, pero 5 minutes man lang ang akon nga. Just kidding. Kung ang mga MSUans ang mag-atubang ay balik-balik na ang amon ni istorya. So, every time habang hapon, good morning, sir. Are you Mrs. Primavera? Or, good morning, ma'am. Are you Mr. Primavera? But that is how we remember them. No? Very loving couple, very good-looking couple. Nga, si Sir Nick, damo man mga estudyante may crush siya. Damo man mga estudyante nga may crush kay Ma'am Jurgenne. But we were just like pining. Kay kabalo kami nga when they entered MSU, married na sila. I'm very happy to have seen how the family grew and how the applause have come. Of course, I know them all. But probably Carlo does not know it. But when I arrived in CIFDEC, I visited them in their house, and Carlo was newly born during that time. So ang akon nga daw index or benchmark sa akon stay sa Tikbawan is Carlo. No? Happy golden wedding anniversary, and may we be together for the diamond year.
This far, no? Di kayo at least, ano kayo, alive and kicking pa rin. And it takes a lot of effort and sacrifice to reach this stage that you have right now. So, si Ma'am Jurgenne, yung mga hindi nakakaalam, was used to be my boss for several years. Kami nila Fed. And siya yung, hindi lang siya friend, of supervisor, but also a friend, no, and mentor. And I truly appreciate and value the things that I have learned from her. Yung sinasabi nilang workaholic siya, sabi ni Yasmin, ni George, totoo talaga yan. Kasi when we watch the concert, was that Letterman or Cascades? Si Ma'am nasa isang gilid, nagtrabaho pa rin siya. May folder. Sabi niya, uy Ma'am, ang dilim nagtatrabaho pa rin kayo. Sobra. And then, yung one thing that I adopted from her, yung kanyang method, yung minsan naalis siya, meron kaming kanya-kanyang listahan. Water the plants, ganyan. Meron pang do the blah blah blah, ganyan. Tapos, the same thing, no? I also learned that ganun na rin ginagawa ko dun sa mga bang staff. Sabi ko, here are your, parang, ano yung pag sa doctor, tawag mo doon? Prescription. Pag sinabi kong prescription na alam na nila ano yung things to do, which I got from your mom. And that was okay because it makes me more organized and systematic in my work. And si Ma'am yan kasi nung araw, mahilig yan sa kaftan na damit. Hindi ko ma'am, kaftan na damit. And in the hatchery, we always got wet, no? So yung kaftan niya palaging nababasa. So nakaano pa yung nakabisikleta pa yan. And then I remember when we went to Batan, she requested us to give lecture, no, in Batan, and then si Ma'am talaga down to earth and hindi maarte. Kasi when we finished our lecture, the vehicle went ahead kasi si Junie May, yung vehicle service Junie May during that time, and then we were forced to take a single motorcycle. Four of us riding in that motorcycle when we went back to our hotel. Yes, habal-habal. Yes. Apat kami ha. Si Ma'am Jurgenne, the driver, ako, and Fe. Fe was asleep that time pa. Kaya kasya kaming apat. With the projector, the blackboard, and all. No, can you imagine that? And then we were passing through a muddy road. So sabi namin, pag nakita tayo dito sa Manila, talagang we were serious with our work, no? Walang arte-arte. So I remember that. Si Ma'am kasi masarap yung kasama sa trip eh. We enjoy traveling together, walang tigil ang mga bunganga sa kakakwento. And then, you know what? She would always bring cassette. Kasi mahilig magsayaw. So after the hard day's work, she would request someone to play that, and then we would start dancing. And I remember also in Thailand, the floor was grassy, and the singers were all Filipinos, no, yung band. And then we requested them to sing, I forgot the song, and then Mom started, siya ang pasimuno she started dancing, and then all the participants started dancing with us. They dance with us, kahit na yung floor ay grassy. Remember mo yun? So, Ma'am, iniisip ko kasi kanina sabi ni Yasmin, Ma'am, can you share your experience with Ma'am? I was thinking, kasi sa dami ba, minsan hindi ko na remember kung ano yung mga yun, Basta, all I can say is that Mom is a good mentor, and she encouraged me to you know, publish, you know, and work professionally in doon sa aking years sa CIFTEC. So, thank you, Ma'am, and we hope that we can be together again in project man or whatever. So, yun lang ang aking share. Madami pa eh, kaya lang iba hindi na matandaan. So, dami. Okay, so thank you. And
the tide rushes in, lands a kiss on the shore, then rolls down to sea, and the sea is very still, once more so wide hush to your side, like the oncoming tide, with one burning heart, will your arms open wide, alas, we're face to face, and as we kiss, Lord, a praise, I can tell, I can feel, you are love, you are real, breathing mine, in the rain, in the dark, in the sun, like the tide, and but peace in the web of your heart. Whose love for each other we celebrate, and whose goodness and faith and spirituality has blessed us and inspired us in many ways. So I speak here not only from the Western Visayas Ecumenical Council, but I also represent the Convention of Philippine Baptist Churches, and of course my friends from Aglipay Philippine Church. Okay, so Western Visayas Ecumenical Council is a fellowship of churches that are from different denominations: Baptist, Methodist, UCCP, Aglipay, Salvation Army. All have different expressions of their understanding and worship of the same God, and all have found common ground in service and in respect towards each other. I was a young person when I started joining these fellowships, ecumenical fellowships, that emphasize serving God and serving the people, and unity in diversity. Dom Nick, I would refer to him as the patriarch, the ecumenical patriarch, of which I nurtured my faith and spirituality. And so, because of their generosity to share their experience, their humbleness and wisdom, to not be self-centered or myopic, or not only to limit yourself in the four corners and traditions and doctrines of their church, but to really search for the divine, even in nature and in other people who have never stepped inside the church. It has influenced me and inspired me to really, marvel at how big and how good and how good God is. So because of his encouragement, I was able to really reach places which I never dreamed of reaching in my life. by involving myself in the ecumenical dialogue, in the ecumenical world, I was able to learn in Asia and even up to the World International Fellowship in the World Council of Churches in Geneva, Switzerland. And so, because of their trust and their belief, they have inspired so many people to reach the impossible. So thank you, Manune and Ma'am Jurgenne. Your experience in the mangroves also really opened up my learning and how we should really take care of nature in the mangroves, because that's where life thrives and begins for our oceans. So thank you on behalf of the Western Visayas Ecumenical Council, on behalf of my family. Thank you for blessing us with your example and your faith and spirituality. God bless you.
More and more now we come to see Papa's side. But truly, buo po sila. It is not one or the other. It's a package deal. So, at this point, we have the sharing from the United Church of Christ in the Philippines, Iloilo City, from the Church Council Chairperson, si Manoy Oni siya.
I'm here to be sharing a few words on our golden couple. And I'd like to begin with saying that Ate Jurgenne, I'd like to add to the Primavera picture that you flashed earlier. Some of the church members have dubbed you in another way, aligned with your family name, Primavera. Our church members call you prime movers. Why do we say prime movers in our church? Firstly, we have learned so much environmental consciousness in our church. To begin with, Ate Jurgenne's love for the environment has rubbed on almost all of the church members. To prove this point, one doesn't have to go far. Just in our church grounds, you can see at least 4 distinct species of trees. We call them the 4 Ds. Dao, Dangkalan, Tungon, and Duldul. We have this in our churchyards. And the last one, which is the Duldul, has placed us in our barangay, Tungon, has placed the church into the map. Because each year, as it flowers and turns into pods, the local barangay always asks us to harvest the seeds early. Otherwise, the whole barangay will get some respiratory illness. We have complied so far, and this year, happily, we haven't had any complaints. Another species, when I learned this, Duldul's scientific name is Siba bombax. Bombax Siba. Dungon B. Haro is one of the 3 places in Haro. We have Dungon A, Dungon B, and Dungon C. Our church is located in Dungon B. And when the church started to be built early 2000, there was not a single Dungon tree in the whole vicinity. Thanks to Ate Jurgenne's prodding, we were able to produce some of these trees, and the Dungon tree is now on its way to being propagated in the 3 barangays. And we have seedlings for such tree planting activities na lang ang kulang. So from the environmental consciousness point of view, our church has an outreach program. We have about 200 kids, the poorest of the poor. Parents come from, if there's a class C or D income level, these are the type of parents that we have in our outreach program. Now, these small kids, ranging from 5 up to 14 and now up to 20, with the environment consciousness stand of UCCP, these kids have learned so much on how to care for the environment. This is the effect, and this is the help and the love of Ate Jurgenne for environment, which has now reached down to the congregation. Kuya Nick naman, as we call him, is our literary guru. Anything that you wish to have edited, from speeches, or different wallies, or even simple grammars, Kuya Nick is the person to approach to. At the split second, pwede niyan i-translate kahit ano yun. From memory, kahit eyes closed. This, my friends, are just some of the blessings and the love for the church, for the environment, for humanity that this golden couple has shared with us. Don't you agree? Can I hear a yes from all of you? Yes. So as I close my short sharing for this evening, our prayer is that the good Lord would continue to shine and to bless Kuya Nick, Ate Jurgenne, that they continue to light the candles of our kauturan na wala pa yung matutdan, para at least a big, the place, the world will become a better place to live. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Good evening.
Ako'y iibigin ka ngayon at kailanman. Those who know the song can sing with me. Ka na mag-iisa ngayon at kailanman. Sa hirap o ginhawa pa, asahan may kasama ka.
will be sharing on behalf of ZSL. And siguro, at the same time of WBEC man, hindi rin naman connect, ma'am, and connect, no? So, sa ZSL family, no, for your information, no, mas nauna ko man ang kilala si Tito Nick kaysa kay Ma'am Jurgenne or kay JHP, no, as we call her. I used to tag along with my nanay, no, when I was younger. Siguro, I started na mag-upod-upod kay nanay, elementary ko lang ako. Kaya dito ko nakilala si Tito Nick. No, so, si nanay ko was working, no? Upod niya na si Tito Nick, no? Sila na ang partners in crime. And nakilala ko si Tito Nick, no, as a very good writer. And no, wonder lang ko siguro sa time, sa una.